Good morning, professors and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to stand here again. Actually, it's out of my expectation now. So I'm very happy to stand here and give you my presentation about my lesson plan. Well, first of all, please allow me to say a few words about my understanding of the listening material. It is about the eco-friendly home, and I think it can be, according to me, it can be divided into three parts. The first part is about the real situation of the energy waste in the United States. And the second part, which I think is the most important part in this video, is about this person, Amory Lovins, teaches people how to save energy in their homes. And they use the listening material used Cohen's homes as an example. And the last part of this video is about the ways to save energy, which he uses the Amory Lovins house as an example. Actually, he uses the solar panel to save energy. Well, this is the content of the listening material. The second part, I want to tell the objectives of my lesson plan. First of all, I think students should be able to fully understand the content of listening material. And the second part is that they should be able to raise their awareness of saving energy, not only in their homes, but also as a whole society, okay? The third objective is that I want to raise their critical thinking skill about the methods to save energy. Next, I want to talk about my procedures. First one, of course, is a warm-up activity. And I think in this part, I'm going to, first of all, show them an advertisement, okay? The advertisement is about the choral about a son and a mom. And I think this is usually happen in Chinese. The mom said, it's summer, but I don't want to turn on the air conditioner. However, the son is very angry about, I want to turn on the air conditioner because it's hot. So, and after the advertisement, I think students can be motivated about the interests in the class. So I'm going to do a little survey about how many of them want to turn on air conditioners in summer at home, not only at home, but also in dormitories. Because nowadays, you know, most of the dormitories has air conditioners now. And I'm going to ask them, why do you want to use air conditioners in the summer, and do you know the consequence or the outcome that the air conditioner can cause to the environment and also to the energy? And after that, I think I can introduce them the topic of the lesson, that is eco-friendly home, okay? And it comes to the pre-listening activity, the prediction. Okay, and I give them the title, eco-friendly home, and ask them to predict, when they're looking at the title, what can they predict that is going to be discussed in the video? And they may give me some answer like the situation of the energy wasting at homes, or the ways or methods that I think it's not difficult for them to predict the content. And after the prediction, of course, related to the prediction, I'm going to ask them, what kind of words can they give me that related to the eco-friendly home? So they may give me something like air conditioner or the electronic applications at home. And if their words are enough, I will come to the next part, the listening part. If not, I'm going to provide some of my words, like the heater in the video, a freezer, refrigerator, a solar panel, or watts, or something else like rice cooker, okay? And it comes to the while listening activity. I think at this part, the listening material I'm going to play for 2 to 3 times. Okay, the first time I'm going to ask them to make a little generalization about the video material. I think it's not difficult. So the video can be okay for freshmen and sophomores. It's not that difficult. So I don't think there's any that hard difficulties for students to generalize its main idea. Okay. The second time I will play it for students to get the detailed information. Detailed information, I'm going to provide them with some questions, like the questions with numbers, like how many % do they know that energy was wasted in the United States, just in homes or in some buildings? And then what are the problems with the Cohen's home? And what are the ways that this Mr. Emery Lowens provided with them, okay? And then it comes to if they have some other questions about the listening material, the content, I'm going to give them to listen to the third time to make sure if they understand the content. And after that, I also will ask them do they have any other questions about the content of the listening material. So if they have any questions, I'm going to ask all of the class to discuss together. If they don't have any questions about the listening material, I'm going to move to the next part, which is the after listening activity. After listening activity, I'm going to do a speaking activity for them. That is about, now they are college students living at dormitories, and they study in classrooms or libraries. So naturally, I'm going to ask them, do they think that they waste a lot of energy in their dormitories or in classrooms? Or do they think that the school administrators waste some energy in the school buildings? Okay, so they can have a little group discussion about this. So if they think the question's answer is yes, that yes, they wasted some energy in the dormitories and the school wasted some energy in the school buildings, they are going to provide some suggestions or the solutions that they can think of to solve the energy waste problem. I think this activity, because of this activity, I think they can raise their awareness about the energy wasting and also the how to save energy around them, okay? Not only as a student, but also as a person who can be responsible for the community, okay? And this is the after listening activity, which we'll do in class. And the homework, of course, that is what they're going to do after class. So I'm going to ask them to do a group project, okay? A group project. That is, I'm going to ask them to think about this question in a bigger picture, okay? Not just in school or in dormitory or at home. I want them to have a group project to do about the question like, what else can be eco-friendly in our society? What can the government do to save our energy? Because nowadays, some students, if not all the students, but some students want to find a job in the government. So I think I need to raise their awareness, like as a person who should be responsible for our society or even the whole world. Okay, so they need to think about it as a person, as a social person. Like, what can they do? What can the government do to save energy? So after the group discussion, they need to hand in a report about the group discussion results and have a demonstration next class. So basically, that's all about my lesson plan for according to this video clip. So thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we have just watched that video. Okay, we learned that as you mentioned, there's a problem mentioned, and then we find some solutions there, right? So in overall, the material is organized in the order of problem and solution.
Solution, yeah.
Now within the solution part, how is the information organized? If we focus on the solution part, how is each of the step, strung together, and how they are organized, and so that they follow a certain pattern of organization.
So, so you mean the organization of the solution in the video?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you for the question.
In other words, look at how the sentences are put together, in a certain pattern.
Okay. So first of all, I had a poor memory, but I think in the video it says this Mr. Emery Lovins teaches people to save energy in their homes. Actually, I think this is the general sentence that is going to tell us that there's going to be some steps behind this sentence. So exactly, it does this. So it says, today he comes to Cohen's house, right? As an example. So the listening material, I think it says he finds some problems in their homes. So that is the way how we organize this. First of all, have a general pattern like this person, Emery Lovins, teaches people to save energy. And then pose the question, pose the problem. Like this house, this Mr. Cohen's house has several problems. And then it tells us what kind of problem this house has. Like they have the problem with the heater, the freezer, and some other electronic applications at homes. And then after the problems, this person, Mr. Emery Lovins, gives some ways, suggestions to save the energy. And in the video, it says the way is to unplug the electronic applications to save the energy. So I think this is the organization, a general pattern, general idea, and then pose the problem, pose the questions, and after that, give suggestions. And in the end...
What about Loving's house?
Yeah, so I just want to say, in the end, he also used himself as an example. That is to use solar panels.
How are the materials organized?
The solar panels?
How are the materials, the linguistic language, the sentences organized?
The linguistic sentence, that is a hard question. I think I can recall the content is that he lives in the mountain, and even though it was very cold, like minus 40 degrees outside the mountain, the house can be warm because of the solar panel. So I think he uses the narrator uses the linguistic pattern, even though it's cold outside. It also has, if you can be eco-friendly, your house can still save energy as well as keep warm. So that's my answer. Thank you.
As for your teaching design, you were saying that you could play the video 2 or 3 times, either for freshmen or for sophomores. So you think that the material is suitable for both freshmen and sophomores. So it doesn't really matter, right? And do you have any particular reasons for this kind of belief, and why? And how do you organize your students and your activities, for different levels of students, actually?
Thank you for your question, first of all. I think it's a very good question because I've been thinking about it as a teacher, not only for this competition, but also for my teaching life. Every time I search the internet for listening material for my students, I'm always considering if this material is suitable for my students. And to be frankly, I've been teaching listening and speaking for freshmen as well as sophomores, even for some adults. So when I'm deciding whether the material is suitable, first of all, I'm thinking about the vocabulary. This is the first thing I'm thinking of. Based on this listening material, I didn't see some very difficult words. So I think based on what I did like a few days ago, about the dinosaurs. So this one is kind of easy. It doesn't contain some difficult words. So that's why I think it is suitable for probably a little advanced, like freshman or sophomore. But for the 3rd grade or 4th grade, maybe it's a little bit easy for them. But how do I decide it's freshman or sophomore? That is based on my understanding of students. That is, well, we all have different. Well, that's the diversity of students group. Some of them are really advanced, but some of them still have difficulty in listening and understanding. So I think based on this, this diversity, I think I can use this material for freshmen to teach them to understand. First of all, understand the listening material. But for sophomores, I'm going to teach them to dig something deeper about this listening material. So that is how I can use the listening material for both sophomores and freshmen. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.